Okay guys, so it's 11 o'clock at night, I'm super tired, I'm drinking chocolate milk straight out of the carton. Because why not, right? Listen, Capcom just drew a huge line in the sand for YouTubers, Twitch streamers, any kind of content creators. Capcom has come out with a document describing exactly how you can and cannot use their digital properties. And, you know, I think a lot of companies have these kind of policies in place, but Capcom's kind of gone a couple steps in a direction it's kind of going to be a problem for some YouTubers. There are some people, including myself, who have videos right now on their channel that could actually not just be copyright claimed, but in fact have their content removed because it no longer complies with Capcom's policies. And this is kind of crazy. I don't really know how much they're going to be going into people's back catalogs retroactively, but according to this document that they've put out, they really fully could to their rights. And what's really scary for content creators is that if Capcom is seen as a bit of a trailblazer by other video game companies and other digital media companies, you could see other companies from CD Projekt Red or Square Enix or something start to adopt policies like this, and it could end up becoming industry-wide. And it's going to create some roadblocks for YouTubers and Twitch streamers. So let's take a look at the document and really break it down line by line. So this is Capcom's video policy. It was last updated January 6th. I saw this tweeted out last night after midnight. I wanted to make a video about this right away, but I was exhausted. So hopefully we can, break this down for those of you who are concerned about your rights as content creators as far as Capcom is concerned. So they start out by saying, Capcom is grateful to have such passionate and loyal fans who want to create engaging content with game footage of our titles. We encourage your creativity and ask you follow the guidelines below in using game footage of our titles. Please note the following guidelines only apply to intellectual property owned by Capcom. For anything related to content owned by third parties, you must check with the proper right holders. Okay, that's pretty standard. So guidelines. So here's the good. They're saying, okay, for creative content, this applies to Twitch streams, YouTube, Vimeo, anywhere where you're creating content where it's available for free on a social network platform. You may make walkthroughs, tutorials, let's play, speedruns, reviews, reactions, instructional, and other commentary-style videos using our game footage to be shared on YouTube, Twitch TV, your website, or other video streaming sites. The associated step-by-step commentary should be tied to the live gameplay being shown and should provide instructional or educational value or other benefits. And here's where it gets a little bit sticky, because I see every day in some of these YouTube support groups, gaming support groups, there are a lot of YouTube gamers out there who want to upload no commentary footage, just gameplay. And this is a sticking point for a lot of people, because a lot of people like to do this, just put up gameplay. Metal Jesus is doing it. He just started a second channel a couple of months ago, and he's uploading all of the gameplay that he has captured over the years, bit by bit, to his second channel. No commentary for most of it, it's just gameplay that he's captured. Game footage posted online. You should not share game footage online without adding your own video or content unless the game console or device permits sharing of game footage. So, like with your PS4, when you can do a little capture and share it on Facebook or something like that. You may not split our game content into components, such as visual, vocal, in-game elements, etc., and distribute such components as separate content. So that really means you can't use Capcom music in your video unless it's the appropriate music to the video you're showing. You cannot just upload game footage or trailer footage or anything else like that without modifying it in some way and adding value, which for the most part I do, and I know a lot of people do with reviews and that sort of thing. But this is really going to be a stab to the heart of a lot of people, because the consequences for this are not just having a copyright strike. They will, and they say further down, they will actually have the video removed. So let's read a little bit further down here. So non-official Capcom video fan content may not be promoted as official content from Capcom. Okay, so that's pretty standard. I don't think any company likes to have someone else do fan project and try to pass it off as actual legitimate Capcom content. So that's not a problem. Only Capcom music here says, please note that some game soundtracks or songs may not be owned by Capcom, but are licensed from an artist or another group, yada yada. So they're saying be careful and make sure what music you use. You can use Capcom music where it is relevant to the video that you're showing. Here is another really big sticking point, folks. This right here is a problem. Audience appropriate. All fan-created content should be appropriate for the audience of the Capcom games. For example, if you take game content for younger audience and make it objectionable, we reserve the right to take it down. Take it down. So who decides what's objectionable and what's not? Capcom is literally giving themselves carte blanche to say if they don't like your content or the way that you represent their content, they reserve the right to not only copyright claim, but actually have your content torn down off YouTube, Twitch, whatever. This is a real problem, and if this gets picked up by the entire video game industry, it is going to change the landscape of YouTube, because YouTubers are going to be afraid to represent themselves in the way that they are comfortable doing so. They're going to be afraid to make fun of a game. They're going to be afraid to criticize a game. They're going to be afraid to swear, which, I don't necessarily swear, but once in a while I let a little something slip on the channel, and I wouldn't want to all of a sudden find out that I have become objectionable to Capcom. So this is an issue that we really need to focus on as a community for YouTube creators, Twitch streamers, guys. What is objectionable and who is deciding this? So spoilers, the next point here, spoilers. Any posting or other unauthorized disclosure of game content prior to a game's official release is strictly prohibited. This is pretty standard as well. But even after an official game release, spoilers can ruin a fan's experience, and we always aim to avoid them. Please be respectful of others and do not deliberately push plot reveals on people who are actively avoiding learning about them. Otherwise, please offer spoiler disclaimers as a courtesy. Now, this does seem to be phrased as a request. They are not explicitly claiming that they will delete videos that have spoilers in them. This does seem to be phrased as a request, a general courtesy, but I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did go after people posting spoilers on, stuff that's recently released. Non-commercial use. We do not allow Capcom content and other materials to be used to make money or gain any other financial benefit except through permissible monetization. Now, this is a problem. A lot of YouTubers make DVDs of their stuff. Look at Cinemassacre at the Angry Video Game Nerd. He has Blu-ray sets of all of his old game reviews from way back in the day, and there's plenty of Capcom games on the NES that he has reviewed. Now, you are not allowed to make any kind of money while displaying Capcom content in any other way besides the social media platforms where everything is available for free, theoretically. So you cannot now put your videos that you've created onto a DVD and sell them if they contain Capcom content, or you will come under the scrutiny of Capcom, and these guys are going to sue you. What they're saying here is that you cannot make money or gain any other financial benefit except through permissible monetization described below. You may not limit to paid access, sell, or license your content that includes our game content to others for payment of any kind. In particular, we do not allow you to create new content using our game if a paid subscription is required for people to access our specific content. So, this also plays into Patreon. A lot of YouTubers like to release their videos onto Patreon, which is a paid subscription platform, a week or two before they release it on YouTube to give those subscribers a benefit. You're no longer allowed to do that. You can't release your videos to Patreon if they contain Capcom-specific, situations, video, music, whatever. This is another huge issue that is going to change the landscape of YouTube, because now, if your video has Capcom materials in it, you are going to have to release it to YouTube and Patreon at the same time, because it must also be available for free. So, we do not allow you to create new content using our game if a paid subscription is required for people to access our specific content. So here are the permissible monetizations. You may monetize through partner programs and or advertising from YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or other video sharing services. Collecting voluntary contributions, so donations, such as through Super Chat on YouTube and bits on Twitch, is permitted as long as your video is also available for free to the public on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, or another video sharing service. So you cannot put anything behind a paywall anymore if it includes Capcom stuff. And this is scary stuff that they're taking this level. Like, this is kind of Nintendo level control over their IPs. And, do they have the right to do this? I think they do. And, they're saying up at the top of the document that they're comfortable with us using their footage, but only as long as they like the way it's being used. And this is really an issue. So, impermissible uses. So, pre-release content. Any posting or other disclosure of unofficially released, unauthorized, or leaked video and or leaked content of any kind in any format is strictly prohibited. Any publishing of in-game content from sources as, but not limited to, leaked copies of a game prior to its official release date will be removed. That's fairly standard, but there's something really crappy coming up here. We'll get to that in just a second. We may authorize pre-release content to select group of media as agreed upon, yada yada yada, accompanied by strict guidelines. Unauthorized usage. Here's another one. We do not allow usage or promotion of third-party programs, including hacking, cheating, etc., or devices that circumvent intended protection of Capcom titles. Additionally, we do not allow Capcom content to be uploaded to a platform for which rights have not been granted, such as in the creation of Twitch emotes. So you can't have a Mega Man Twitch emoji anymore because it features Capcom content. Inappropriate content, this makes sense for the most part. Using Capcom titles to create videos and other content, including mods that is illegal, racist, sexist, prejudicial to sexual orientation, sexually explicit, disparaging, promotes hate crimes, or is otherwise offensive, is not tolerated. So again, this comes back to objectionable content. Any of these mods or anything that they're saying you might run on a Capcom game, if it's objectionable to literally anyone, or if Capcom thinks it might be objectionable to literally anyone, on a case-by-case basis, Capcom reserves the right to take down the content that is found to be inappropriate or objectionable at our discretion. Boy, unbelievable. Video capture of Capcom publication. This is actually something that really sucks for a lot of us that like to do pickup videos and, unboxing videos and stuff. Now, this has to do with Capcom printed materials. Video capture of Capcom publication. Any posting of video capture of printed or digital books and other printed or digital materials published by Capcom or its licensees, such as but not limited to comic books, game strategy guides, collector's edition art books, Capcom publication, is prohibited. However, you may use Capcom publication in unboxing videos, provided that no specific content inside Capcom publication is displayed in the videos. So I know for myself, when I get a new strategy guide, and I'm doing a pickups video, I like to open that sucker up and show everybody some of the cool pictures inside. I can't do that anymore. Happy Console Gamer, he does his new game stuff videos all the time. We've seen the inside of, Mega Man books and stuff like that he's given to Rob Man. And, people like to show what they've got, not just the cover. Hey, I got a book. Next. You want to talk about the book. You want to showcase the book. Any posting of video capture of printed or digital books and other printed or digital materials published by Capcom is prohibited. That's it. Failure to abide by these video content guidelines may result in Capcom taking action to have your video content removed. Capcom reserves the right to change these policies at any time and for any reason. Please note that this policy is not exhaustive, and we reserve the right to object to any use of Capcom materials and to remove such objectionable content at our sole discretion. So my takeaway from this is, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, and if we don't like you, we're going to take your video down. I got a huge problem with that. I am out here promoting this stuff. I'm out here telling people to play these games that this company has made. And they're telling me, they're tying my hands and they're telling me that I can't represent my channel the way I want to represent my channel. And I think that is a huge problem. And I think YouTubers and Twitch streamers need to stand up and respond to this situation and get a little clarification as to exactly what objectionable content really means and sole discretion. This is a serious problem because this puts discretion in Capcom's hands to, anything they don't like. If they don't like the way you look, if they don't like the way you sound, if they don't like the fact that you swear or whatever, they could theoretically tear your video down and completely take away the thing that you have worked for. Anyways, guys, I don't know what to do about this. I really hope that this does not become an industry-wide situation, seeing these kind of draconian measures. There's a little bit more. By all means, I downloaded this PDF directly from the Capcom website. By all means, go look at it yourself. Don't take my word for it. This is a situation that is going to affect all content creators on all platforms. Anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around. Stay classy.